Well, today we are starting in the science of getting rich. We are going to be exploring some of the ideas that are in chapter 16. And what does it say there? Some cautions and concluding observations. Hey, don't, some of the cautions aren't something to shrink away from, but actually today, as we're taking a look at some of these cautions, you understand what the caution, the reason for the caution, and really it's coming from a place of how to move forward. This morning, I'm so glad that you can join me. I'm Alan Vukas, and every day I take a little time on these Facebook Lives to contemplate some of the principles of prosperity to support me and to support you in living the life that we would love to be, do, and have. And in order for us to do that, then we have to have a different mindset than what we have been holding up till now. For what reason? Why? Well, do you know, if I believed that that I always got the broken one. I always get the broken one. I always get the broken one. Well, and when an opportunity, if this is an underlying belief that I have, if this is the consciousness that I have of a broken one consciousness, then when something shows up in my life, if that is the consciousness that I have, then I am not going to be open to it working. Do you get that? If I have a consciousness, a broken consciousness, I'm not going to be tuned in or actually of the same match vibrationally to working. And it's the same way. When we are, this is the truth, we are surrounded by this divine intelligence, this unlimited divine mind that is thinking, that is creating in me, through me, as you. We are the waves on this ocean of this divine love intelligence. And the desires that arise within us, it is actually the movement of this divine intelligence. But if I have operating here as a belief or as a paradigm that things don't work out for me, there's not enough. Not enough time, not enough energy, not enough power, not enough opportunities, not enough, then even when I have the desire that rises within me, that emerges from this field of love intelligence, then I'm going to cut it off because it does not match my view and perspective on life. When enough is showing up, when abundance is showing up, when prosperity is showing up, when opportunities, when dreams, when desires arise within us, if I have a paradigm or a consciousness of there's not enough, well, it doesn't matter what arises because then I've cut it off because there's not enough. And this is where this message or some cautions and concluding observations, this is some of what Wallace Wattles is bringing into in the chapter today. This is why I take time to explore these. So these ideas every day, daily, is to undo the programming and the domestication that I've received, and hopefully in me doing this for me, that you are also open to unraveling what stands in our way, or what blocks the wave to fully emerge and express in our lives by us contemplating new possibilities, new ideas to unravel what stands in our way. And the only thing that stands in our way, Ernest Holmes says this, that the only thing that stands between us and our greater good is a thing of thought. Is a thing of thought. And that's why it's so important to spend time every day contemplating possibility, contemplating prosperity, to undo how the world perceives things. There's a verse in the Bible that says to be in the world but not of the world. Because the life that is in you and me is greater than the world. It is greater than the world of effects. And so we need to get our thinking in line with that. And that's what we've been doing through exploring this book by Wallace Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. So there was one thing that there were a couple points in this chapter, and if you have this book, I recommend just read through the chapter, because it's not bullet points, but he gives some points to sort of like, these are oh, by the way, there's a sort of an energy of that. But here's the overarching message. He says, if you and I have the advancing mind, have the faith that they can become rich, and move forward with the fixed purpose to become rich, to realize that new way of living, or living the life that you would love to be, do, and have, nothing can possibly keep them in poverty. This is the bottom line. The bottom line is that if you and I have the consciousness that we have an image and a vision of our life, we have tapped into the vision of the life we would love to live. We have tested it. We know without a doubt that it is worthy of us, that it gives us life, that it is congruent with our values, that it requires us to grow and to have access to and to lean onto a higher power, something greater than ourselves that is within us. And that there's good in it for others. We've tested it and we know this. And so we have our purpose, we have our intention, we have our faith, that we know that we are working things out, that life is working things out, and we're putting action behind it. And we move forward and we treat everything with that advancing mind, that everything that is right in front of me right here now, that this is what is the way. This is the way to the next step, And we're determined to realize it. Nothing can keep it from us. Nothing can stand in the way of our good. Not even ourselves. Not even ourselves, because eventually the pain of keeping ourselves separate from our good becomes so much that we finally surrender, and then we allow life to do with us what it will. And what it will is it will bring us more good. The will of life is for you to be and to have and to do and to enjoy, to fully express, to be all that you came here, that all that life is wanting to express by means of you. That is your purpose, and that is what life wills. And so if you have a clear vision, then you have an idea of what life wills for you. And so there's nothing that can keep you in there, and then keep you from it. And he says here at the bottom of 110, when you enter upon the creative plane of thought, you will rise above all of these things. Above what all things? Above the systems, above the strategies, above the way the world tells you to do it. You will rise above all of these things, all of the competition, all of in order for me to be successful, I must do it this way. All of those classes, all of those strategies, all of the things that we have been told by others, hey, if you want your good, then you need to do it my way. When we rise above the competitive thinking and we enter into agreement with our vision and with life, then when we will rise above all of these things, above all of these strategies, and it says here, we become a citizen of another kingdom. We become a citizen of another kingdom. We're living then no longer in the kingdom of the problem, but we're now a citizen of the kingdom of solutions, of possibility. And this is all that we've been talking about for these weeks now. In the science of getting rich, it's about us entering an agreement that not only is it possible, but it is happening. Spirit has got this. Life is working it out. And I am a channel for this to be present in the world. So when I am in agreement with that, when I hold that and I tune out the voices, I turn away from the strategies, I turn away from the naysayers, I turn away from the past paradigms, the past thoughts, the past indoctrination of that there's only so much pie. And I better get mine before they can get it. Or this ship has sailed. Or the train has left the station. Guess what? There's always another train pulling in. There's always another ship. I've been on more than a dozen cruises, and let me tell you what, there's always another ship pulling into the port. So we need to release this idea that there's not enough, but this is developing the prosperity consciousness. And having that, then we become a citizen of another kingdom. And then he goes and tells you, so if as a citizen of a kingdom of possibility, as a citizen of a kingdom of solutions, as a citizen of the kingdom of having dominion over your life, and you're co-creating with the power that spins the earth on its axis, this is what you are, and this is the kingdom. This is what and who you have on your side, life itself. And when you have that, when you're living from that place, then he gives you some other things to know. And just one thing I wanted to share with you well, let me share with you a couple that really jumped out at me. No matter how tremendous an obstruction may appear at a distance, you will find that if you go on in the certain way, what we've been talking about up till now, that obstruction, it will disappear as you approach it, or that a way over, through, or around it will appear. He goes on, he says, give no anxious thought to possible disasters, obstacles, panics, or unfavorable combinations of circumstances. It is time enough to meet such things when they present themselves before you in the immediate present, and you will find that every difficulty carries with it the wherewithal for its overcoming. How much of our time do we spend not focused on our vision, not focused on the possibility and solution, but how much of our time do we allow our thoughts to imagine the how, what we need to do in order to make it work out? And then we have been trained this way to try to feather the nest, to try to clear the obstacles out of the way before they've even shown up. Possible obstacles, they haven't even appeared yet, but we're already preparing. And this is what Wattles is telling us, that to act in a certain way and to think in a certain way is not to give consciousness or our attention to what is not working. Don't even give thought to it until it is in your present and it is guiding you. You are guided on what to do about that. Don't bring in worry or trouble from some imagined future and bring it in today and believe that that is what you need to do in order to move forward. No, what we're required to do today is we are required to hold the vision, of what we would love to be, do, and have. The only relevant question for you to get rich, to experience the full expression of life, is to answer the question, what would I love? What would I love? That's the only relevant question. Not is it true? Not the only relevant, or is this what I should do? Leave the shoulds aside, leave all of that aside, and today get into agreement with what I would love. And then if I believe that was possible, if I really believed that if I knew that life was working that out for me, and that this desire is life itself telling me what is mine and it's calling me forward, then what would I do today? What would I do today? And then act on that. Do you see how obstacles, or talking about possible failures, or talking about what gets in the way, do you see how that is not congruent with what I would love? This is the vision, and this is what life is working out for me, and this is how I'm choosing to cooperate with it today. Don't give any attention to some possible obstacle or something that stands in the way, some possible problem that hasn't even arrived yet, because I'll tell you what will happen. As you stay on track, then when the obstacle appears to emerge, then you will have guidance that you didn't have when it was down the road. And what you will notice is that as you stand firm in your faith, knowing that this is working out, I'm doing what I'm called to do, and life is doing what it is called to do, then it will seem as if life itself, the universe itself, is reorganizing itself around you to mirror to you the energy that you are bringing forth. And if you're bringing forth an obstacle, if you're bringing about the possibility of failure, then life says, oh, okay, and mirrors that back to you. The principle is to stay in truth. And the truth is you are an extension of life itself that is seeking to express and to create and to be known in the world as only you can do it. And so the vision, bring that to mind. Live in the vision and bring that. It's almost like a kid who knows that Christmas is around the corner. Bring that energy into today. You know what? I'm going to be on my best behavior today. I'm going to act congruence with the Christmas, the packages that are on their way to me. I'm going to be a good boy today. And it's not that life is judging you and is going to withhold things from you. It is giving to you whatever energy you are bringing to it, and it will match that. So today, know today that as you are acting and thinking in a certain way, that you are a citizen of a different kingdom. It is a citizen of the kingdom of solution and possibility and prosperity. It's not of the constriction and limitation and lack or scarcity. You are a child of the kingdom of more than enough. Join me in knowing this today. Here's what I know. I know that there is only one power, one presence, one divine intelligence of which you and I are not only a part. We are an individualization. You are that wave on the ocean, and back of everything that you say and think, back of everything that I say and think is this love intelligence. It's this thinking substance that knows not only what to do, but how to do it. It is the ocean that is behind the wave that is pushing it forward. And that is not only what's available to us, all power is available to us. But what I declare and know is that even the power that we may have used up till now to try to drop an anchor, to wait a second, I need to figure out that problem down the road. Even that power is the power of life itself. And so what I declare and know today, that any anchors that you and I may have dropped to try to solve problems that haven't even arrived yet, today the anchors are pulled up. I accept for you and me, I accept that we are advancing men and women. That you and I already have within us the faith of God. Not the faith that God will do some, but absolute faith is guiding us and directing us and moving us into our good, because you and I are kingdom. We are citizens of the kingdom of creativity, the kingdom of power, strength, and every good thing. Your greater good is not in some far off distant place. It is right here within you. And you have everything you need in order to realize that at every level, not just in your heart and in your mind, but also in your body and in your full experience. And life is working it out without delay, without hesitation, with full security and stability. That is what is unfolding. That is what is present here. And I know that life is guiding us and directing us in clearly lighting up the way for us to co-create with it and realize the life that we would love to be, do, and have. The life that Spirit is wanting to be, do, and have as you. That is what's unfolding here today. And nothing can stand in the way of all power, of all knowing, of all wisdom, of all good, of all love. And that is what is present as you today. I am so grateful for this. I am so grateful in knowing this, and I just allow this to be by saying, and so it is. I'm holding that space for you and me today. And I look forward to seeing you in an upcoming video. We're going to be wrapping it up, the last chapter of this book. I'm gonna be diving in again and pulling out some ideas. But chapter 17 tomorrow, we are going to do a review of some of what Wallace Wattles has talked out. The bullet points. Chapter 17, he gives the principles in very concise ways, and we're going to discuss that tomorrow as we wrap up the science of getting rich. Have a wonderful day. Peace and love. Namaste.